There was recently another test screening for Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four First Steps, and reports to come out of it have been mixed, with some praising Galactus, some praising alleged Lovecraftian angles, some saying the movie is alright, none of which matters one bit. It's toast anyway. Because by all accounts, it's another female-centric installment of the MCU. Let's dive in. There have been many rumors surrounding the new Fantastic Four, some from WDW Pro, some from Overlord DVD, Doomcock himself, and some from elsewhere altogether, and none of these rumors have been any good. Before we get into any of their scoops though, let's begin with looking in at someone who wants the MCU to succeed, and who by default is all about female representation. And who for all that still has some very based takes, and does not try to hide the fact that the test screening did not go well.
And I heard that, let's just say any executives who are at the test screening didn't need to look at the comment cards to find out that the audience thought the movie was medium. Let's just put it that way.
Spoilers leaked, so now we know that the child of Reed and Sue, Franklin Richards, is in the movie, and he too is super duper powerful, just like Centric and Wanda before him, so maybe the audience won't respond all that well to this power inflation.
But I don't understand why there are 3 of these. And they're in such quick succession. They don't even give any of them a chance to breathe, and they are already moving on to the next one. So to me, that's weird. Oh, Mike, if you don't know who Franklin is, this is Sue Storm and Reed Richards' son. And he is, of course, he actually is technically supposed to be a mutant. I mean, we'll see if they continue with that. But he's a Nexus being. And so I'm curious to see how this goes over with audiences. To have somebody so powerful.
The real problem with the movie though, as we and many in our sphere have alluded to the whole time, is the ladies. Not that they are in the movie, mind you, but how they are portrayed, because Kevin Feige is an ideologue who seemingly worships at the altar of gender ideology.
Then I'm very worried about the MCU situation. That's a lot of us don't like that term, which has really taken, it's a very effective term. It has really taken hold. And I do think that there are some instances, where Marvel has leaned into it to such a degree that, it's hard not to use that as a description when you're like, but, what do you want from me, man? If it was better balanced, you wouldn't be able to use that.
That, of course, is true. With Bob Iger's approval, Kevin Feige has seemingly pulled a Kathleen Kennedy, that is, do everything in his power to transition Marvel, a brand appealing primarily to male audiences, into a female brand. Also, like Kathleen Kennedy, Feige has failed to attract a new female audience by transing Marvel female this way. But he has succeeded in turning off both the male and female audience that used to be into Marvel, so good job there. Because that's the thing, the audience is actively put off by the MCU, and by artificially putting women at the center of everything for purely ideological reasons. The audience, and ironically, especially the female audience, is repelled. Yet they keep on doing it, even in this upcoming movie, which we know courtesy of leaks from the test screening.
I would think at this point that Marvel would be able to get out ahead of things and understand when they were going to run smack into the MCU allegation. And I was quite surprised to learn from this test screening. And I don't know, they could change things. I don't think it's too late to change anything. I mean, it would be very late for last minute reshoots. So, how do I want to phrase this? Even though it's a team of 1 woman and 3 guys, I think that you're going to have a situation at the end of the movie where it's women who save the day. And you're like, why? Can't Like, come on. Let's see what they decide to do. I mean, I guess technically Franklin. So I guess, okay, so women and a baby. You know? And you're like, why do you do it? Like, I don't want to say MCU, but then you're like, but what am I supposed to say in response to that? You know, like...
So, there then, we have confirmation of the rumors that it's the gender-bent female Surfette alongside Sue Storm, and now Sue Storm's little baby, who will be saving the day. And here it bears repeating that these are not rumors, these are test screening reports, meaning this is what has been filmed, and this is how the movie ends as of right now. With 2 girl bosses taking out Galactus, seemingly without any help from the 3 out of 4 male members of the Fantastic Four. Remember back when Pedro Pascal was first cast, and there were rumors that Marvel had already went through a list of more suitable actors, but no one wanted it. Allegedly because Reed Richards was written as such a soy boy cock, that taking on the role essentially would be bad for their image and brand. That Disney only resorted to hiring Pedro Pascal because he's a company man, and one who, for his own reasons, had no objection to how his character would be portrayed.
I'm gonna lick the stick. I'm gonna lick the stick. Then I'm gonna put it in my butt. Put it in my butt. Put it in my butt.
Well, those rumors were just tacitly confirmed. And it gets worse still. WDW Pro has reported that the movie is undergoing extensive reshoots, as test audiences have not responded well to the movie's ending, which is so obviously ideologically driven that one could hope that the reshoots were aimed at fixing that. But nope, not according to Doomcock. His Hollywood spies report that the reshoots are about shooting more female gender-bent Silver Surfette from before she was transformed into Silver Surfette. So audiences will get to know her more and presumably like her more. And if there is merit to this report, and honestly, at this stage I see no reason to think there isn't, then that only goes to show that Marvel has indeed learned nothing, because they seem to think that spending more screen time on one of the movie's 2 girl bosses is going to solve their girl boss problem, which it isn't. And make no mistake about it, devoting so much story space to female characters for wholly inorganic, ideologically driven reasons is a problem that has damaged the MCU greatly, and it will be the end of this movie.
Like, you got these great characters here, you know, Reed, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, you know, and then you're like, you know, we'll see how it goes down. We'll see how audiences react to it. But I don't know. I think it's not a good idea. I'm just surprised that when they pitch this stuff, someone doesn't say, well, guys, how do you feel about the MCU allegations that keep getting sent our way and do seem to be having an effect on how people perceive our brand? And then I'd be like, you know, I'm not saying we have to take anything away from anybody, but can I add like one guy into this? Like, just one guy. Can he just like kind of help out too? It can be a win for all of them, maybe? Can we? So, I don't know. I'm just really surprised.
The problem, of course, goes beyond this one movie, which frankly, you might as well write off at this point. The real problem is that this is the lead-in to Avengers Doomsday, and who is going to care about that when Marvel has just lost about all credibility and goodwill they ever had? And when we get to the point where no one cares about the Avengers, can Marvel even be fixed? How long is Disney going to keep throwing good money after bad on a brand that they destroyed by infusing it with diversity, equity, and inclusion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.